Hey y'all, welcome
Hey,
to my sister's house. I am your host, Summer Rain, and we have your host Touche with the background music. Hey.
trying to get in the mood here. No, okay. We're gonna kill it before we get silenced over here. How y'all doing today?
How y'all doing today?
Nice to see y'all. See y'all peeps. Hear
How
y'all
y'all
peeps.
doing? How y'all
It
doing?
is.
How y'all doing?
It has been a beautiful, chilly day here where we are. Huh?
How's your day been today? How was your week so far? Hey, cause we live, baby. We live. Hey, 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 is that what kind of week you had? Get it, get it, get it, get it.
Yes. It's kind of week I had. What kind of week y'all had out there? Man.
That's how my week been.
I'm doing this because I'm trying not to be tired. Oh girl,
Girl,
body
this
is
has
weak.
wore me out. This work,
What?
this week has wore me out. This
Yeah.
week has wore me out. Not in that way, but it's been kicking my tail.
In what way? I mean, you've been working. I've been working
I've
all
been
week. I got
hoping.
swamped yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It's just, oh Lord, how I'm just like, oh, come in and speak to us. Hey, how you doing? Hey,
Come on in this
hey,
room.
family.
Come
Hey.
on in this room.
But
Um,
anyway, so oh Lord, anything else hot on your end, Summer?
um, yeah, it's hot on both our end.
Oh, is it? What is it?
We going to Vegas.
Hey.
Hey, we going to
Yes,
Vegas.
we'll be in Vegas April 22nd through April 25th. Who's coming? Who's getting a ticket? $35 for the gala tickets for 99.9 the urban scene. Or you can purchase them through me or Cha Cha Toba. But anybody want to come?
Y'all
'Cause
come,
we
come.
about to
Hey,
go out.
Marco. Hey, Enoch. Y'all come party with us. Come chill with us. Come, come conversate with us in Vegas. Like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Okay. We
Yeah,
trying to go all out, all out. Okay. We even got an extra day.
sure
We
do.
got on an
Sure. 5 days in
extra
Vegas or 4 days in Vegas? Is that 4 or 5 days?
day. Let's see.
5 days? 4 days.
4 days, 3 nights.
I don't even know. I just know I was booking stuff and just like boop, boop, gone.
Come on, Enoch. Come on. Y'all, if y'all
Goodbye,
see me looking
Kentucky.
up, it's because my phone is up here. I have to look, I have to interact with the people that are on my page because some of them don't get to the group page or to her page. So if you see me looking up here, you know, I'm trying to interact with everybody because I tend to lose some of my viewers because they be like, oh, she ain't responding to what I'm saying.
She ain't even talking to us. I ain't even about to watch her little
Right,
show. What?
right. Don't you hate that? Wait a minute. Don't you hate that,
Oh,
Victoria? Don't you hate when somebody come and be like, your little, oh, I see your little this or your little that, or you doing this little thing. I see you going, you know what I'm saying? I went and saw your little show or your little boutique, your little business. Don't you hate that? Like that? I remember Tiffany had posted about this. Tiffany Ed had posted about it and was like, that's a form of hate. It is because it's not a little something. Even if it is a little something, it's big to that person. So why would you even?
it's big to that person and your little everything, okay? Because it takes a lot to put on a production. It takes a lot to do energy and time to do what people are doing.
Baby, because we was both was like, we sleepy. Do we do a replay or do we?
Replay.
The
Show was
show
trying to throw
must
a
go
replay
on.
of the show up in here today.
The show must go on.
Oh, she keeps. I swear, she keeps me on my toes because I was like, man, this
I'm gonna tell y'all,
yeah,
80% of me wanted to be like replay. When she said replay, I was like, oh yeah, let's
what
replay. And I
what's
was like,
wrong with a good show
no,
that we can replay?
we
Nah,
gotta. That's too much work versus just saying hey to the people. I think a part of me was like, I'm tired from work, but at the same time, the topic that we have today is not one of those like, hey, while we're not topics, is more serious. It's a more serious topic.
Right.
So I was just like,
So,
we got to talk about this.
so if y'all did not see the topic for today, we're talking about sexual assault between men and women. Um, how some people don't express themselves on it. Some people don't even know that they're actually sexually assaulted, or even for men that, you know, uh, some of them, I'm just going to say this little tidbit, this little part, and then leave it alone. You got some guys that say, I lost my virginity at 10 to my babysitter that was 18 and stuff like that. You were actually sexually assaulted.
He was molested.
Right.
Right.
So we're going to talk about things that a lot of people dumb down, that should not. I mean, speak up, speak out, and protect yourself as much as possible. So that's today's topic. I mean, it's a good one.
Not before we get into all that. So Enoch had made a comment when we were talking about the little thing. So he said it's not necessarily hating. They're probably proud of you, but for some reason too shy to admit it. Or they could just be hating because they want to do the same thing and they ain't doing it, and they see you flourishing. They see that not even flourishing yet, but they see that you went out there and stepped out on faith and actually did the thing that you said that you wanted to do. And now they're sitting back looking like, well, if they can do it, then I could probably do it too. But whatever. Like,
there.
I don't know how haters think, because I ain't a hater. I'm a motivator. I'm an uplifter.
That's me. I mean, like, when have I ever? I have never hated on anybody and anybody's dealings, but I always trying to.
I don't like some people.
What'd you say?
But I ain't no hater.
Would you do what?
I said I don't like some people.
Right. Even if I really don't, you're not in my. I don't even have a group or a clique, but even if you're not in my area or I really don't have a good vibe for you, I'm still going to congratulate you. I'm going to wish you well. I'm going to tell you how proud I am of you, because I really am, genuinely, because you're doing the damn thing, because you're doing something I probably wouldn't have thought of doing, or I would not do, or I probably have done and would not do again. Okay. So, things happen that way.
I'm playing. That'd be a hater if I didn't do that. I still break bread with my haters though. If it's some good service, I feel some type of way like,
That's just like Judas sitting at the table. No, why still break bread? I've done that for years. I've done that for years, and it got me nowhere.
I was talking to Jackie Sunday on our way to Memphis about Judas, and I was like, sometimes I just be like sitting there thinking about the story of Judas and how he betrayed Jesus, and I be wanting to, haul off and. Right. But then it's just like if that didn't happen, then we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have somebody that died for our sins. We would have, every time we sin, well, we can't even say every time. The first time we sin, off with his head, like we'd be dead. So
right.
I am, in a sense, I understand Judas, but at the same time, I don't rock with Judas. I can't rock with nobody named Judas. Have you ever met anybody named Judas?
Cleophas.
Are they naming their kids?
Look at me. Cleophas is close enough for me.
I don't think anybody's ever named their child Judas. I've never met a Judas. I've never seen a Judas on TV. None of that. Y'all know anybody named Judas? Because if you name your child Judas, you set them up for failure.
Some people probably will do some stuff like that. Now I'm gonna have to go look that up.
I think Lil Nas X should name his child Judas whenever he has.
Is he gonna have?
I mean, since he's representing for Team Satan anyway.
I'm talking about the team he's batting on anyway. I mean, batter. He can adopt, yeah, but don't do that.
It ain't the same thing as your own lineage, yeah.
Right. I'm talking about if he's gonna name a child Judas or Lucifer or some stuff like that.
Could you imagine somebody naming a child Lucifer?
You can't name a turd? Oh, okay. Almost.
I cannot imagine. Like, could you imagine somebody naming their child Lucifer? Like I wouldn't
Y'all
even
living
want to
a
be
different life.
associated with that child. Like, oh, baby Lucifer, I can't.
Camilla.
Can't.
Wait. First of all, you always thinking somebody calling him Lou because his name's Lou, right? But his name's Lucifer. So it might you never know. But that's the weirdest thing. I don't know. People name their kids things that they shouldn't name their kids.
Hey, Jarius. Yeah, they definitely do.
So what you
But
about to say? What you about to say?
nothing, nothing, not a thing.
See how she be throwing that shade, y'all? Oh, I
I'm not,
catch it.
y'all. I don't be throwing the. Okay, I probably be throwing a little bit of shade, but you know what? Honestly, it's usually people that mess with me, and I say something back, or I'll be saying little stuff on here, subliminals, because they know who I'm talking to, but they also know that I say it in your face too, so I don't even care.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Aaron.
So, hey, Aaron. Hey, Omar. I didn't even say hey to Omar. Um,
Because he's talking about turd. Talking about turd. Come on, Omar. But
I
anyway,
know.
so yeah, this is a touchy subject. It's hard to dive into something because
God, like I don't want to. I'm not ready.
we had we had a couple other touchy subjects on the show before, and it was just like, let's just hurry up and get over with this.
Right. I think we
Like,
did
it's
like maybe
making me
10
feel
minutes of
some type
talking
of
about
way.
it, and then we just went to something else. I
Uh,
mean, it is what it is, Omar. It is what it is. He's team boy. I mean, I
he's a
can't.
he's a better swing up in there.
I can't say nothing about him being a sissy. Like
No, I
I
wouldn't say
can't.
he's a
I
sissy.
got a whole girlfriend. I'm a lesbian. I'm not. I mean, I'm in a lesbian relationship, but I'm bisexual.
Well, I was about to say you're lesbian.
So,
Like you just
no,
claimed the
no,
whole
not
thing.
full blown. No, ma'am, I can't do it.
I know, Aaron. I'm jumping in. Aaron said, "Go ahead and jump in this subject with both feet in there."
Can't do it. Okay, Aaron.
Well,
All
the
right,
reason why,
y'all.
because that is, I know pulling out that band-aid hurt though.
Only if you got a lot of hair. If you ain't got no hair, then put a little oil on it. Put a little oil on it and make. Aaron, can we put some oil on it and slick it down first and then rip it off?
What's less invasive?
Being a lesbian.
Because he likes that kind of stuff. Bye, Omar. Omar about to hit you up and say, "Come here, Summer.
No,
Bring
he's
you and your
not.
girlfriend. My girl got a girlfriend."
No, he's not.
Anyway,
Oh, okay, y'all. So it's time.
oh Jesus Christ. So yeah, back,
Disclaimer.
huh?
Disclaimer. So
Yes.
you are. I was diagnosed, mental health, blah blah blah. So I was diagnosed with dissociative disorder. So when it comes to like really sensitive topics, talking about it. If you see me smiling, don't think, oh, she's nuts. Um, don't think that. Like, I honestly, I really don't care, but I don't want nobody to be like, oh, she's over here laughing and she thinks it's a joke. No, I don't think it's a
No.
joke. But I have been through these things before on multiple occasions. So it's just, I don't know why it's a reaction that I have. Um, but my therapist explained it to me as whenever I'm in a traumatic situation or I'm talking about a traumatic situation, I tend to take myself out of that, which causes me to laugh or to smile. My mom always thought I was nuts because stuff that I should be crying about, I was actually laughing about, or if I was supposed to be angry, I was actually laughing. So I'm not. Jerry said, "Nah, she's really nuts." I'm really not. Like I'm
That
I'm
makes it true because
contained.
I do the same thing. I can't get too sensitive about things because it's
I'm
the things I've been
contained.
associated with in my life. So I cannot sit up here and say, um, uh, if I'm laughing all the time, I laugh a lot, and everyone's like, "Why are you laughing?" Even my kids, "Mom, why are you laughing? It's not funny." It's funny
Right.
to me because I can't cry. I can't, but I'm gonna make sure you're all right. So it's just like, it's just all the some people it's for the trauma and the things that they're trying to um probably I'm gonna say it this way, trying to cover for themselves. And then, but I've been living like that for a very long time
Yeah,
because
very.
once we get into this subject, I'm going to reveal to you guys um, a, a thing about myself, and Summer will too. But you know, um,
Okay.
I be cutting up at funerals too, Aaron. Cause I be acting like plum B food. Everybody's like, "Well, the so and so dead." I'm like, "Well, they live a good life, you know." Anybody else go? I ain't got five on your insurance policy. I'm not doing no dinner plates. You better get some insurance, okay? Because I'm not doing no dinner plates. You could be right there.
Look now, now when it comes, I don't know, for some reason when it comes to death, I was like, such and such died. Ain't nobody told me they done died. And she on they in a better place now. They ain't gotta suffer. And I'd be like, I'd be trying to say that to people, but then I'd be like, is that something I really want to hear when I hear somebody dad? No.
Well, when you and I go, there's no telling what nobody's gonna be saying. I'm like, "Ooh, I'm so glad they all to a better place. I'm so glad they all resting." Okay, whatever. Say, that's why I prefer the people to say what they got to say to me today. Let me know where I'm going out to the upper room. Let me know, how you really feel about me. Like they
Y'all
say, give
owe
me
me some
my flowers now.
flowers.
Right, give me my flowers now. Go ahead and give them to me now. Any kind of way you want to give them to me. See, why do you always make that? What? I don't mean the way that you think I'm talking about, ma'am.
Okay.
I would not say anything else. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get in.
Okay, so okay, here we go. All right, so the office we got some of our research from Office of Women's Health. So it defines sexual assault is any type of sexual activity or contact that you do not consent to. Sexual assault can happen through physical force or threats or force, or if the attacker gave the victim drugs or alcohol as part of the assault. Sexual assault includes rape and sexual coercion, which I didn't even know that. Like, you know how you're you're
You
guilted into having
coasted.
sex. I never thought that. I knew it didn't feel right. I know I wasn't feeling right about it, but
You
I
get
never thought
coasted.
of it.
You get coasted real good. The smooth operator. Oh, you ain't got to do it like you ain't got to do it. But if it start feeling right to you, you know what I'm saying? And then you
I
like,
always got to. You ain't got to do it, but you can't stay here, or you ain't got to do it because somebody else will. So it's just like, do I want to continue being with this person? He's a nice guy, but I'm not ready to
right,
have sex with him yet. Or do I just be like, F him. I don't care. And some of the times I was like, he's a good guy, nice guy. I'm gonna give it to him anyway. But I wasn't ready. Like I didn't want to.
yeah, it's called being coerced. I mean, just you're coasted into that. It's like
Like that.
it's
The
like a
guilt
dirty old
feeling.
man. My mom never let me sit on old men's laps, even my daddy's and stuff like that. So when I was younger, you hear the man say, "Oh, come over here, little sweetie. Come over here. Let me give you a hug. Well, come and sit right next to me."
I'll bop a man upside his head. You tell my daughter to sit on his lap. I raised her. No, you don't sit on a man's lap. And her granddaddy is the same way. He don't even let her sit on his lap.
That that's just like that's a whole taboo thing. Won't do it.
You don't. I was like, one of my cousins. He put her in his lap, and I was like, sit her beside you. He was like, she can
I,
sit
I don't
her
even.
beside you.
You don't even want them that close.
I could see, like, I was like right there. So, and I've raised her from the womb. I was like preaching, don't let nobody touch your private parts. Like I was always preaching that. So to the point where she gonna tell me, it don't matter. You can blink at her wrong. She gonna tell me. And then
Yes,
I
you
had
do.
to come behind her and say, why did you blink at her like that?
Really,
So,
the blink part.
I don't care. I be
But
petty.
the blink part. Okay, so we
Why you blink one eye and twinkle the other one when you was looking at her?
you know. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, everybody has their own ways and thoughts on. Um,
Something new. Like,
I don't even know how to say that, but
I didn't even know that. Like, I'm just over here, my mind is blown because like I knew it didn't feel right. And it's not been like one or two times. It's been quite a few times that I was literally like guilted into having sex. One time I remember having pity sex with somebody because I just got tired of them asking. I was just like, come on, let's go. Like,
what kind?
pity sex.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
What you
But
gotta
penny,
think?
I don't know. Penny.
No.
You said
It
penny,
costs
and
more
I'm
than,
like, wait, what?
it costs more than a penny.
Kind of.
Uh
What is penny
I
sex?
can't.
But
Jarius, I can't. Um Okay, let's see. Sexual assault can include any type of we did it? No, we didn't. Any
yeah,
type
we
of
did.
sexual contact, any type of sexual contact with someone who cannot consent, such as someone who is underage, as defined by state laws, or by their mama, has an intellectual disability, or is passed out from drugs or alcohol or unable to respond, such as sleeping. So even when I'm saying they be like, oh, they was sleeping, I tooted it up a little bit and I got some.
Oh, that's the famous line too. Sometimes, I- you you think that just because they I see memes about this, that they toot you sleeping with a female and she toot her booty up close to me, so that means go ahead and give it to me. No, that does not mean go ahead and give it to you. Some cases, I don't know who
It
grown.
depends on the
I don't
relationship.
know who's grown now,
I'm
just
just letting you know.
too close and
I'm
trying to,
letting you know. If I'm trying to cuddle, that's one thing. But if I'm like back arched and booty tooted up, then come hither.
you said come here.
Come hither. Aaron said most states have a minimum age of consent as low as 15. Girl, I thought it was 16. Y'all remember that movie Jailbait? I thought it was 16. I
It,
didn't know it was
it's
15.
so it's
In some countries, they let their children as young as
but
14 get married
yeah,
to
because
grown
I
people.
always thought it was 16 and stuff like that. But you have to remember, back in the day, we're gonna go back in the day. Um, women and men were women were married off into families for barter
Married.
and
His
animals
mother
and
was like
land
14 when she got
at,
married
at 13 or 14, because
to
that's
some
what they saw
grown man.
as of age, and the parents had the authority to do whatever. I used to think that was the sickest thing in the
Not
world.
gonna happen. No, I shoot somebody in the face. They try. Get out of here. That's a whole child. What you got? What is a child? What can a child offer an adult sexually anyway? Their body ain't even fully developed.
It's developed enough for them,
Yuck.
because when a woman get older, they're not as useful as they used to be. So they think the youthful people, the younger that they are, the more flexible and the willing that they will be able to do the things that they want them to do. So
That's where the coercion comes into play.
yeah. But then
Because
they
they
feel like they're
coercion.
obligated because they're married to them. That's my husband. Married into it.
I can't. Okay, some other forms of sexual assault also include rape, attempted rape, sexual contact with a child, fondling or unwanted touches above or under the clothes. Sexual assault can also be verbal, visual, or non-contact. So, yeah, I learned this when I was working for HRC and we had EEO, like little memes, emails, pictures, any of that can be considered sexual harassment, which can lead up to being, visual assaults.
And sexting. I
The
got you, Aaron. Aaron said we work. It is 16, because I was about to say, boy, if they didn't lower it down to 15, we in trouble. But
girl.
yeah, even with sexting and stuff. I mean, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable.
So them unwanted dick pics that I be getting sometimes. If I ain't asked you to send me no meats, don't send me no meats, okay? Okay. Thank you.
Right. That I mean, That's just like I talked about that in another show that we did, how the lady replied to the guy giving her the in her inbox, and she wanted to put him on blast in this group, but you were entertaining him. He sent it, you were answered. He had said something else, you answered that. So if there's a dialogue, then you're walking into it. You weren't coerced into that. You literally
Entertained it.
entertained that. You wanted that. Not saying you wanted that. Let me go ahead and fix that word before Aaron eats me up, because I'm at the Aaron is the program manager for sexual assault, and if I say it like that, she'll probably beat me up. But you're walking yourself into something that you can't walk out. It's like walking into a spider web. You will get caught up. So it's just like the boy they call wolf to me. If you're going to lead them on and then say, "Whoa, look what they did to me," or "Look what they said," you let them on.
Jerry said, because a tally worker can't satisfy. I can't. I cannot. Okay.
No, sir.
I mean, it's not even, you know what? It ain't even if it's little, skinny pencil. It don't even matter the size. It's just like, if I didn't ask for this, or if we aren't on that level to be able to send nudes, not saying that I send nudes, but come on, y'all know me. If we're not on that level, don't hop in my inbox. Do y'all know? Okay, so I have a separate page from when I was in Facebook jail for like 30 days. So I have a separate page, and um literally like every other inbox was pictures of penises in my inbox, and I'm like, what are you doing? What is this? Why? I just block it. I don't even respond, because it's just like, I didn't ask that. That was unwarranted. So I'm not going to respond to that. I block them. Sometimes I feel like I should like save them and then like screenshot and, but then I probably get that page blocked too, because you can't show Peter Whackers on Facebook. So I feel like if you want to show it so bad, let's show it to the whole world.
You just don't entertain it. You just like, I don't get that type of stuff. But even if someone thought that we were on that level, I don't want no picture of you.
I'm gonna start charging. You send me a picture, I'm gonna send you a request for some money.
I can't.
I'm charging you to make me look at it.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So, I'm not. I'm not even gonna go into that.
Some other examples can include voyeurism or peeping, when someone watches private sexual acts without consent. Exhibitionism, that is my favorite thing to ever. Like, I just love to be naked. Anywho, when someone exposes him or herself in public, not publicly, but publicly, if forcing someone to pose for sexual pictures, sending someone unwanted text or sexual photos or messages. So, what is consent? Drum roll, please. Consent is a clear yes to sexual activity. Not saying no does not mean you have given consent. Sexual contact without consent is sexual assault or rape. So just because she doesn't say no, but you can tell her body language is like, I'm not feeling it, like she's dodging and like moving your hands, that's still like saying no without saying no. And some men feel like if they persist, so like I know my ex-husband, matter of fact, prime example. My ex-husband hit me up yesterday, talking all whatever. I entertained it for a moment because I was bored and I had nothing to do. I was going to get in the shower. So then he was like, so you ain't going to come around me because you don't trust. I said, I'm not going to come around you because I trust me. I just don't trust you. He was like, so if I keep trying and trying, you still won't give it to me? No. I don't want you to force yourself on me. I don't want you to be persistent about getting sex because I'm grown. I know when my body says, yes, I want to have sex, or no, I don't want to have sex. And if my body says, no, I don't want to have sex, I don't want someone to keep asking and keep asking and keep asking until I say, fine, let's go. Like, I'm not going to be into it. By then, yeah, the waterworks is going to work because, you know what I'm saying? I got that wall. But I definitely, I'm sorry. I'm not. It's not cool, y'all. It's not. It's really not. That's not cool. Okay, so Aaron said you asking 30 times. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't ask several times. Don't ask more than once. Like, don't ask for sex at all. If it's gonna happen naturally. If you've had a conversation with a person and the vibe is right and you've given verbal consent over the phone, text message, whatever, it's cool. But even in the heat of the moment when you meet up with somebody, the chemistry may not be there. So you can't just be like, oh, well, she said she was gonna give it to me. So I'm gonna ask her now, like, or oh, he said he was gonna give it to me. So because guys can be sexually assaulted too. Believe it or not, a lot of women feel like they can because they're like, well, if it's erect, then that means that he wants it. No, it's, if a guy sees a woman's flesh, he can see a shoulder and probably get hard. A nipple, like if you're showing a nipple, he's automatically gonna get hard, but that doesn't mean that he wants to have sex. So don't keep asking him, don't force him. This happens to guys. I've heard quite a few guys that say that they did not want to have sex, but were forced by women to have sex. And at first, I could not wrap my mind around it because I had the same concept. If a penis is erect, that means it wants to have sex. But if he's mentally not there and his penis is, it don't mean nothing.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
This shit is heavy. This is
It
some
is.
heavy-ish. But I'm learning some things. It's something that rarely gets talked about, so we got to talk about it. Even when it makes me feel so uncomfortable, I can't even be still in my seat. We still got to talk about it because there's somebody out there who's probably going through something and they're watching our show and can get the courage to either say, hey, no, I don't want to do it or leave. So like that's what this is for, to gain education and encouragement, pretty much. Thanks, Karma.
I
Uh
stay encouraged.
right.
Always.
Let's see. Consent. We are talking about consent. So your consent means you know and understand what is going on. You are not unconscious, blacked out, asleep, underage, or have an intellectual disability. You know what you want to do. You are able to say what you want to do or don't want to do. You are aware that you are giving consent and are not impaired by alcohol or drugs. Sometimes you can give legal consent to sexual activity or contact. For example, if you are threatened, forced, coerced, or manipulated into agreeing, and somebody's got a weapon to you, not physically able to because you're too drunk or drugged out or passed out asleep, not mentally able to, or under the age of consent by various state laws. So I know there's been some situations where um, where a weapon was used because I'm so tall. So I'm tall and I'm strong. So it takes a lot for someone to overpower me. Unless you're like a really big guy, it takes a lot for someone to overpower me. So there's been times where someone felt the need to use a weapon. There was one time I remember I went to go sleep with a guy and he still pulled a weapon out on me. And I was like, if you don't put this shit up, like, what are you doing? What are you
I
doing?
think I would have just exited because, um, mm-mm. But it's hard to exit. I've been in those, been in that predicament
Were
before.
you like, well, I already told him yes, but hold on though, y'all. Mr. Greg Giles said those men that got married to those young girls were sick pedophiles, and this should have never happened. But what's even worse is that parents actually were willing to let their daughters go through this type of torture for pennies. Very sad. I would have shot someone for even asking the question because it tells me he's been looking at my daughter that way. Real daddies don't play that. And I agree.
Right.
I definitely agree. um Heavy.
Yeah, y'all just don't.
Heavy. Like this episode alone is just I'm replaying things that have happened to me. in my mind, like
You,
over.
my mind is going, but it's just like, well, dang, was that situation?
Right, right. And then I feel bad because I'm not really like, I think I've kind of like pressured some guys to have sex, but
Really?
I was on some like, if you don't want to, it's okay, and I understand. And I never did. I never was the type of person to be like, well, if you don't want to, I understand, but I'm not gonna talk to you more. Like, I've not been that person. I've just been like, if you don't want to, I feel you. I feel you. We might not chill tonight because that's what I'm on tonight, but we can chill some other time. But I don't know.
Hmm.
I guess I've been victim and predator in a
Yeah,
sense.
I was about to, right. That's what I was about to say. Hmm.
But at the same time, I thought it was okay because we have developed that situation, that bond understanding, I guess is what you call it, that has already been developed. Like, hey, if I hit you up, this is what I'm on. But I don't. It's skating on thin ice because, in a sense, we have societies today that's like overly sensitive about everything, and then we have society from when we grew up, and it's just like it wasn't no big deal. So it's like I'm torn between the two because it's just like in my mind back then I felt like it wasn't a big deal, but in today's society it's just like, dang, I really think I just verbally sexually assaulted somebody, a guy, quite a few guys.
Told you he was the man. But
Why you? Not that your face was all tooted up. I can't. I
oh,
cannot.
yeah, that just don't. So,
Y'all had to sip a little time to get through this, and it's kicking in.
yeah, what? What you drinking?
A little whiny
Um,
wine, a little drink.
that's why I
Okay.
can't drink on the show no more because I be zoned out. And I be trying to talk and it be like, cotton mouth can't get the words out right. I think it was 2 shows before. Not doing that no more. Zone.
uh, All right, so consent is an ongoing process, not a one time question. If you consent to sexual activity, you can change your mind and choose to stop at any time, even after sexual activity has started. So, y'all get the kissing and rubbing and touching, and
That don't
upon
mean
exertion, you like, hey, wait, I don't think I want to do this. And he like, but we already here. So, get up. Tell him, get up.
yeah, they think the kissing part is the okay for the next part. That has also been arguments in
That's why I don't even kiss.
in cases where they said, well, she came here, we were kissing, that does not give you consent to go the further or force her to do more. So, and it's the same for the females. Don't unbutton his pants. If he don't say I'm about to take my pants down, don't touch his pants. Don't do none of that. Yep, yes you. Don't do none.
No, no, it's not me. No, no. What?
But yeah, don't do none of that because until that person undress themselves or they ask you, can I take your shirt off or can I take your pants off? Then that is you giving them the consent. Yes, take it off. But once you take
Let me
that part
take my
off,
own stuff off. Don't even touch me. Don't touch it. Just let me take it off. Cause you're gonna roll my stuff down. Then I'm a big girl, so you gotta like uh, just let me take my own stuff down. That'll
in a sensual way, men do that. They try to undress you. They're trying to be sensual.
if I'm wearing pants, don't put my pants off. Cause there's nothing sensual about getting my pants unless I start it and you finish it. Cause I know how to get over these hips. Mm-mm. Ain't nothing
Hey, look,
sensual about they at my knees and you want to
a
finish
man
it.
think he can unhook a bra, okay? They know how to handle bras and they know how to handle what you got on. Even if you got Spanx
This
on,
bungee,
try to
this bungee
pull
cord,
everything
this boomerang I got, this slingshots I got, it take forever. They need two hands to do this. They can't do the one hand like they gonna need two hands and reach around there and
they gotta reach around and reach around, huh?
reach around. We can't see who you are, whoever said barely. Um Yeah.
Hey, Facebook family, give Stream y'all permission to post you out there because we don't see you. So yeah, so it's just like you just got to be careful with that, females and males.
Right.
So it's just whew.
Yep. Yep.
That's all I can say. Hey, Angel.
Hey, Angel. Okay,
But
so uh, other more on consent. Past consent does not mean future consent.
mm-mm,
Giving consent in the past to sexual activity does not mean your past consent applies to now or in the future. Saying yes to a sexual activity is not consent for all types of sexual activity. So, if you
I,
consent to a sexual act and then if you consent to the front, that don't mean you can go to the back or to the mouth or wherever.
we talk about that.
You got
Ooh.
to
See,
get
I was about to say
permission.
something totally different, but yeah, that's one. You know,
My sex. So you got to add. We have to sit down and have a conversation. Like, hey, you can't go to the back door, only the front door and the window. So you got to have these kind of conversations. You got to have these conversations to know, because somebody may think, oh, he's already back there, and you know what I'm saying,
no,
he's doggy styling it, and then he may feel like he can put his finger in the back door, and it's just like, what are you doing back
no, no. My face is gonna be toe up on all of this because no, that's not something that you do.
there? I'm just saying.
I,
Okay, Mr. Greg said, I had a female coworker that asked me to give them a ride home to ask me to come in while she got the gas money for the long trip. She locked me in her house with a deadbolt that locks with a key, not the kind you twist for herself, on me for 5 hours. It would not let me out. I thought I was going to die because she was so aggressive. I wouldn't wish that on no one. And she was definitely not my type at all. LOL, I feel your pain, shaking my head. That's crazy. 5 hours.
y'all gotta excuse me. I'm parched.
I mean, it's not funny, but 5 hours?
No, it's not funny at all because that right there, that's desperate. He could have called and had some charges brought up on her. Um,
Sexual
that
harassment. That's
that's
awful.
that's that's whew, that's too much.
I
Hey,
wouldn't
y'all,
wish that.
I've been dealing without almost full year when into not worry about you right now, but I would never. If I get turned down, what woman? I mean, just like what y'all gonna do? You gonna time misery time up,
Probably. That's
string,
probably what she did.
string
Turn
them
in
out?
misery.
It's just that's sad. That's disgusting. But I guess when people want that person, you gonna get that person by any means.
Honey, I've had them in
And he
Facebook.
won't walk in nobody else's house no more. If you gonna bring me some money, come bring it on the stoop. I wait out here. You don't never go into a man's place or woman's place and you have no idea of what they got going on. Me? No. Was that a
That's a movie.
I know, that's what I was like, was that a
They
part
tied him.
one of
Remember,
the
they
movie?
tied him up in the basement till he accepted the food.
Yes, they sure
Yeah,
did.
crazy.
They did.
Well, that's the black version of misery, except they ain't hurt him. They ain't hurt him like she did. She broke his ankles and everything in misery. Let's see. Okay, so who commits sexual assaults? Sexual assault is most often committed by someone the victim knows. This may be a friend, an acquaintance, an ex, a relative, a date, or a partner. Less often, a stranger commits sexual assault. Women and men can commit sexual assault, but more than 90% of people who commit sexual violence against women are men. So a lot of people laughed at me when I told them that my husband raped me, my ex-husband raped me. Like they like that's that was your husband at the time, so how could he rape you? If I
Ex-
don't want to have sex and I say no, and he forces me to have sex, that's rape.
I
Oh,
have
he pressed
something.
charges.
Huh?
He said he pressed charges. He said I
Oh,
did
okay.
press charges. Then she threatened my life for telling on her. I ain't no scary dude, but this woman was psycho. Child.
Right. That's crazy. But yeah, I had that kind of like that situation going on, and I'm not gonna say it was, I didn't know what it was. Okay, let me say it like that. I didn't know what it was because I had that happen exiting out of my last relationship. I used to go stay over there at their apartment, and because we were legally still married, it was like, this is mine. But felt some type of way afterwards because of knowing the reason for the split. But yeah, it I guess it does happen, and you don't you don't formulate it, you don't put it together. So
That leads to our next question. Can you be assaulted by your partner or spouse? We jumped the gun, but hey,
I'm sorry.
it
I,
is what it is.
it is.
Yes. Sexual assault is any activity you do not consent to, no matter who it is with. Sexual assault by an intimate partner, someone you have a sexual or romantic relationship with, is common. Nearly half of female rape victims are or raped by a current or former partner. Um, you
Hmm.
know what I noticed though? We're gonna do black and white because the majority of our viewers are black, but I know we do have some Caucasian. Um, the white society is more prone to going out there and getting help and telling and going to trial versus the black community is taught, us as women have been taught to don't think about it, don't talk about it, sweep it under the rug. It didn't happen. Like if you don't think about it, it didn't happen. So then years later you're wondering why like you having dreams or why if you get with somebody and then they touch you a certain way and then you pull back or you snapping and you don't know why. It's because you've been taught that this trauma that you went through, you don't address it. So when you don't
You know
address
why
it,
I'm looking at you like this, but yeah, because
when
this
you
is
don't address this trauma, then in turn it's going to affect your future relationships.
um
Yeah, yeah, well,
okay,
if
so
you
I'm
do
just
not
like,
address it, it will. Yes.
you
Yes,
can,
so it did.
I'm a victim, and I never told anyone
I'm a survivor.
until, oh, I'm talking about at that time I was a victim. But um I never told like my spouse until we were exiting out for our divorce. I was 40 when I said, "Hey, look, the reason why this XYZ, because I used to get pinned down, flipped over, held down. I would freak out. I would fight him like I am in a wrestling match and try to flip him to get out. It wasn't enjoyable because at 16 I was raped, and at 16 I was told, don't don't say nothing to nobody. I was living in Georgia and moved back to New Orleans to get away because technically I really didn't know who the person was that assaulted me because I was so grown, in high school, was told not to go out to the Orange Crush, which is Savannah State University's big summer spring bash, and I went, and that was the end of it. And it was just like I never said anything. It scarred, like completely scarred me for a long time until you know things started not to go my way. It's like I didn't held all that in, and I mean, I guess it does affect it because, like I said, I used to freak out, but I never could talk to the individual. So it was something I just didn't never come out because I didn't want nobody looking at me different. And it took me to go. I think I was talking with my pastor and them. It took me talking to my pastor and stuff about owning your truth and facing all the things that you feared. And that was one of the biggest things that I feared of someone not caring for me and loving me because of that. And so, yeah, it affects your relationship, but I didn't think it affected it that much. But thinking, now, yeah, it affected it by in our sexual acts. So without him knowing exactly what it was. So
I had something to say, but
go on and say it.
on. I just so I had this concept that the more people I sleep with, um, the more it would erase what happened to me. And I was about, I want to say 25 when I realized it's not erasing anything, like at all. Like it's
That's,
not like
that's called masking the pain.
it was not erasing it at all. Like so, I felt like if I took my sexuality by the reins and I own my sexuality, um, that would help. So here I am today. I sleep with whoever I want to. I'm not sleeping with a lot of people, a lot of people, but I'm sleeping with a couple people. Um, but I just feel like now looking back, some people be like, "That's so dumb." Like I don't regret anything that I've done. Um, I think the only thing I regret is not telling. So, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know. I was sexually assaulted by my biological father. So I don't talk to him at all. I don't have any association with him. He doesn't have any association with my daughter or anything like that because I don't trust him. But yes, so I was sexually assaulted as a teenager by my own father. Um, and it definitely affected a lot of my relationships because of having to endure that trauma for so many years. Like my brain just whenever I get into a traumatic situation, like I disassociate myself. So I take myself out of the situation mentally and I'm somewhere else, even though physically I am probably going through something. So um, I use different coping mechanisms and things of that nature to get through it. And that didn't work. So I did therapy. Like it didn't, my mechanisms did not work. So, because I ended up snapping on several occasions. Like I snapped on several occasions. So I realized I have a problem and I need to get to the source of the problem. Even working as a sex worker, like I realized, hey man, you got a problem because some stuff shouldn't affect me the way that it did, but it did.
Hmm.
Am I slowed down to y'all? Is my screen slowed down?
Yeah, you kind of like moving in slow motion.
I had noticed my battery was dying, so I was like, let me give it some juice. Okay, what we got? All right,
What's up?
so we got some myths and some realities. A couple of myths and realities. Okay, so myth versus reality. Let's take a look at some mistaken beliefs about male sexual assault, and uncover the realities behind the myths. So men can't be sexually assaulted. Of course, we talked about this earlier. The reality is men are sexually assaulted. Any man can be sexually assaulted regardless of size, strength, appearance, or sexual orientation. Myth. Only gay men are sexually assaulted. I never thought that. Um, Reality. Heterosexual. Oh my goodness, I lost my screen, guys. Give me a second.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Y'all bear with me. I know I'm goofy. Even when it's something serious. Like
Where you
I
at?
got you.
Okay.
Okay, so it says heterosexual, gay, and bisexual men are equally likely to be sexually assaulted. Being sexually assaulted has nothing to do with your current or future sexual orientation. Your sexuality has nothing to do with being raped, then being robbed.
Right.
Period. Myth: only gay men sexually assault other men. Okay, so reality. Most men who sexually assault other men identify themselves as heterosexual. This fact helps to highlight another reality, that sexual assault is about violence, anger, and control over another person, not lust or sexual attraction. So, case in point, y'all watch what is it called? Snowfall? I think it's a show. I watch it on Hulu, but I believe it comes on FX. So in like the first season, I was like, I felt some type of way. So dude had stole some money from this young boy, and he went with his homeboy, and his homeboys, and they went to this gang, and the gang was like, "Nah, we ain't rock with them." But this one dude was like, "Hey, show me where you at," blah blah blah. So they took him to this house. They took him to this house, found out where dude lived, went to the house, tied dude up, beat him up. You know what I'm saying? Dude was not trying to tell where the money was at. Where the money was at. He was like, I ain't no money here. Blah blah blah. So the dude from the gang took dude and drug him in the room and raped him. Like when you looked at dude, you like he's a thug. Like he's a heterosexual thug. Like roughneck. But to see that happening, it did something to me because he took that. It was like a transfer of power. So dude is a part of another gang, you know what I'm saying? He tough and rough, and he feeling, manly. And to have another dude, cause he tied up, take advantage of him like that. Like it was too much for me. Like I tried to watch the show after that because it's a good show, but I haven't been able to really watch it ever since I saw that. It bothered me.
Yeah,
That transfer of power, that control, it's too much. Too much.
should if it even get complicated, I don't watch shows like that. It was
Okay.
hard for me to watch Malcolm and Marie, so I can only
Right.
mm-mm, no, at all.
It was hard for me to watch Malcolm and Marie because my head hurt from all the toxic
The
situations in that
toxicity of it.
movie, and the
Yeah.
yelling and it's just too much. All right, also by women is perpetrators are males. Men can also be sexually assaulted by women. All right, myth: erection or ejaculation during a sexual assault means you really wanted it or consented to do it. Reality: erection and ejaculation are physiological responses that may result from mere contact, physical contact, or an extreme stress. These responses do not imply that you wanted or enjoyed the sexual act and do not indicate anything about your sexual orientation. Some rapists are aware how erection and ejaculation can confuse a victim of sexual assault. This motivates them to manipulate their victims to the point of erection or ejaculation to increase their feeling of control to discourage reporting the crime. So if you get his winky hard, even though you don't want to do it, it's wrong. And I'm learning that now. Then I probably did that a couple times.
You're horrible.
I am such a freaking lady.
But I mean, like we discussed that earlier, and we talked about how it may seem as if that person wants it, and it's not. You know, I don't even know how. I don't know. I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, I can't, because I don't even see the reason why people want to force themselves on someone if they don't want to be involved with them. And I think that's one of the reasons why I am about how I am about sex and sexual encounters and stuff like that. So I just, um, Just don't know what to do. Don't know what to say. So
All right. If you or anyone that you know is in danger or medical attention, call 911. If you or anyone you know is being sexually assaulted or has been sexually assaulted, you can call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. That is 1-800-656-4673 to connect with a sexual assault service provider in your area. Um, that's all we have for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Those who are tuned in, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. We love y'all. We can't wait to see y'all next week. I'm be coming from a different location because I'll be on the road. So
to that note,
now it's time to say goodbye
so oh my,
to all our
I'm sorry.
NYS
So
ISHOU.
you see, I wanted to play some music with that. Hey, no.
Man, can you stop? Bye, y'all. We'll see y'all next Thursday. I don't even remember what the topic is for next week. I don't even remember if we have a
We
topic,
have a
but
topic. We have a topic, but what is it?
huh,
Who knows right now?
who knows? Because we may have a topic and then decide we want to change it. So this what we're gonna do. Look, DeMarco is singing it.
Come on, DeMarco, sing that song, but that's our song right there.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good night and we love y'all. Bye.
Bye.